Welcome to the return of Pop Culture Omniversa Monday. So, everyone, we're going to talk about the video games. Finally. So, we're talking about Gears 5, a game I actually really like. So, yeah, man. I really enjoyed the story. We're mostly talking about the story since I don't do those kind of big reviews like Angry Joe does. Go see his video for that kind of stuff. I was talking about more of the storyline than the actual gameplay, other than one aspect I didn't like about it, but I'll get to that. So, yeah, the story is so interesting. It's so interesting and so fun and energetic, and I was glad to have played it. It was feeling like okay. So Gears 4 was okay. The story was okay. They just needed to set up the Return of the Locusts and do all that as the new threat against humanity because we couldn't just come up with a new threat. So yeah. Yeah, so that happened, and Gears 4 ended on this cliffhanger where it looked like they were going to go with this idea regarding Kate, and you were just thinking to yourself, oh, so Kate might be a descendant of the Locust, but how is that possible? Might be a descendant of the Locust Horde Queen Mira? That would actually be interesting. But yeah, when I first heard the announcement, I was like, why are we not voting? How do you write off JD? Like, I know they're probably not going to kill him off because, he's the son of Marcus Phoenix. But honestly, I actually like Kate. I really did like her because I feel like she was a much more interesting protagonist than JD. I'm like, really, what did JD have that was compelling as a character besides his daddy issues? With Marcus. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, and we also killed off Carmine's niece because Clayton Carmine's niece because we need to recontinue the cycle of death. Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing. But anyways, 4 months pass after that, and JD is now officially written out of the story as your playable character. You instead play the character Kate, though JD does come back. When I first saw JD get bombarded by the Hammer of Dawn when they brought it back, I was thinking, oh god, are they really doing this route where they kill off the character in a unceremonious way? Like, granted, he did save people's lives, but like really? But he just gets injured and is written out of the story as your playable character. He does show up, but this is where things got interesting regarding Kate. So Kate was essentially the main focus of the first Gears sequel, Gears 4, because really it's about her mother and the sacrifice she had to make, the conflict she had to do, and then you just have JD just being there. And it's just so fascinating where they were taking her. And finally, they were finally answering one specific thing everyone kept wondering. What was the point of the Gears 2 level? That led to my favorite cinematic scene and gameplay of the entire Gears 5 game. When we finally got to the facility, the underground facility, learning about the true origins of the Locust, which leads to multiple conflicting problems that could lead to disaster for the COG military and the government. What if the secrets get exposed? Because let's be honest, that's probably where it's going to go one day. And and as this goes on, as it continues to be revealed, Kate learns that she is the descendant of Queen Mira. She learns that she is the granddaughter of the leader of the Locust Horde and how her mother's the daughter and whatnot. And as I kept listening to this, I was thinking, when looking back on it, I was thinking, this sounds exactly like everything Rey should have been in Star Wars. No, seriously, Kate is really just what could have been Rey. Like, they had her built up. Like, Kate was a strong, independent character. You got a personality. You got her wants and needs, her desire to protect people. Rey had a similar thing, but then Disney screwed it up because Disney doesn't know how to do it right now. Oh, it took forever for them to finally get something right, but they failed with Rey. So yeah, we're gonna have to fix with that. But moving on from that, but like, yeah, when we learned this part, I was thinking, considering like Rise of Skywalker would come out after this game came out, so I was thinking, this is what should have been the trilogy of sequel trilogy. Rey being told about she has a grandfather who was strong in the Force, and no one knowing who it is, but you get subtle symbols of the hinting that she's a descendant of or related to the lost empire, the dead empire, and she struggles to deal with that, and that's the overall conflict of the entire trilogy because now she has to live with the fact that she is part of the ancestry bloodline of of the most psychopathic ruler of the galaxy, a Sith Lord no less, the Emperor, and Kate is now forced to live with the realization that she is the descendant of the darkest threat that ever nearly brought humanity to extinction and destroyed a huge chunk of continents. Like, yeah. And when you find out that they're looking for that when there's one thing that was confusing to me about the story. They never really explained how her mother lived after being killed. Like, did they ever find a proper way to explain that? Yeah, I don't think they ever did explain exactly how she survived Gears 4. They never said why, and I'm still confused over that. But I don't know, maybe they'll solve it in a book because they'll probably do that. But yeah, that was like the big plot hole. I was trying to wonder, like, wait, how did she survive? Did she get reawakened? Was she regenerated? Wait? Which also led to this other question. Why did if she was destroyed, if she was killed, does that mean that means they never took the body back to them, or did the locust keep the body, or was it destroyed and they thought it was permanently destroyed, and the locust managed to regenerate her body and revive her? Like, yeah, I'm still confused over that ending, over that reveal, and yeah, this is, and there was another thing. They reveal that she is forced to choose between JD or Dell, leading Raina to kill the other. And this is where I got very conflicted because Dell was with Kate. Like, when I heard the spoiler stuff, so screw me for being too interested in spoiler information. But when we got to the whole decision, I was like, okay, so Dell doesn't really have much of a character. Doesn't really, in my opinion at least, didn't really have like an interesting storyline for him. He was just the best friend, so to speak. JD at least had a story, albeit a weak one, where he's trying to reconcile with his dad, considering all that went down between them. So I was like, man, who do I choose? Do I choose JD or do I choose Dell? Like, I wanted to almost choose Dell, but then I also thought, wait, how does this, what does this go for the future Gears games? Because they left it on a cliffhanger. So I'm thinking, so do they do like the Carmine vote, like they pick who exactly had the most selected, and the person that had the least was the one killed off, and our decision ultimately didn't matter because it was basically a gigantic fan vote? Or do they do the Mass Effect route where the ending actually affects the overall experience of the stories to come later? That confused me. I really wondered that. But yeah, and the fact that we learned, and back to my favorite scene in the entire game, when we learned about how this whole war, this whole rebellion was pretty much kickstarted by the fact that a group of scientists lied to the Queen Mira, to the young Mira, who was told, "Oh, your daughter and husband are dead," or the the baby daddy. Yeah, I don't think they got married, so I'm pretty sure that he's just the baby daddy. But yeah, they did this, and it just recontextualizes who Queen Mira is. Like now it's like, oh, she's not just a hell-bent evil human hybrid locust. She's actually a mother who lost her kids, who for still thought till the end of her days was dead, only to learn, only for other characters to learn, oh no, she had children, and her hatred of humanity sprawling from there. And naturally, the Cog government was like, when they learned about who Kate was their first solution was to end the threat. Was, oh, just put her in the machine that can control the locust. We can fix it there because the government sucks. Even though Kate destroyed the machine, because there's a gigantic hulking brute in there. But yeah, they finally recontextualized that scene in Gears, that mission in Gears 2, which I was still confused about to this day, up until Gears 5, when I was like, so wait, what was the point of that mission? Like, they alluded to the locusts being made in a laboratory, but they never really show. They never really went into exact detail. It just felt like oh, we're gonna just put this there because we need to buff out the mission a little bit. At least that's how I saw it. And like, oh, we're gonna have something that looks like the locust, but it's not really them. And then we're gonna have the locust show up and lead to a three-way battle for survival. Only to learn, that mission, we retconned it. It actually is a first lab. The second lab is underground, right? Yeah. So, also we lose one of the funnier characters in the game, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's see what I find it. Man, what was it? Her uncle? She killed Oscar. Yeah, she inadvertently killed Oscar, which yeah, yeah, that didn't end well. And now you got that conspiracy. Like, if people know the truth that the Cog inadvertently created the most destructive force in mankind, I'm pretty sure that's gonna end with bloody crusades on the rise. I mean, like the COG, like, okay, let me clarify. The COG government didn't directly say go and create a new genetic life. Apparently, if I recall correctly, this was supposed to be about curing diseases, which, every time, just, God knows, in science fiction, emulsion diseases are clearly the gateway to all hell breaking loose. Why is that? So, yeah. So they did that route, and now it's like, so what will happen if the people find out? Because that's the biggest aspect I've always wanted to see more of the COG government, was how would the people react if they learned the truth that the COGs are the inadvertent creators of the locust horde, and therefore, you know caused this whole mess that's plagued them for years and years and years and years, and they barely survived the Pendulum War. Then they had to fight another war, and then all hell breaking loose, and then blowing up the planet halfway to hell and back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be blood in the streets. It would be biblical. So yeah, with with that, you got this sequel that will set up the next phase in the in the Gears of War universe. Yeah, they changed it to Gears 5. I don't know why. I was used to calling it Gears of War 5 this whole time. But yeah, yeah. But there is one aspect of the game I did not like. This is the only time I'm going to get technical. So, this is probably just my opinion on this. I didn't like the fact that they did these big open world vibe pseudo type type in betweens. It just I'm just not I When I think of Gears of War, I'm thinking it should fit a more linear structure, not the open world aspect. I was so used to all the other Gears games following a linear format instead of being an open world environment with side quests, because there were side quests in the game. I still don't know why that was a thing. So I was like, I don't really like this whole idea that they did that. It just confused me, and it was like it was a grind a little bit. Like, they could have easily made some more missions, considering how much content they put in there. there, and they were planning expansion packs. They could have probably just went and delayed the game if they wanted to make additional content in order to, not have this big open field area to just drive around in basically snow equipment. But yeah, that was my biggest complaint of the game, essentially. But I did enjoy Gears 5. It was fun. I love the story. I like Kate. And like I said, Kate's story is so much of what Rey should have been. I was perfectly alright with her starting off as this strong female character, but there has to be a personality to me on that. Like, I was like I don't like the Rey character. I feel like considering what they did to try and make her look like she should be up there with the Star Wars characters of yesteryear. It's just nah, she didn't click with me. But this is what Kate's story was. This is what Rey's story should have been for me. How Kate is the descendant of the most dangerous thing in the planet, whereas Rey is the descendant of the most dangerous being in the galaxy. So too late to fix that now. They could reboot the whole movie and try again, the trilogy, and try again and do it right, but it's too late to do that now. Unless they want to reboot the whole canon and make a third universe. But yeah, Gears 5 was amazing. It was a fun, wild ride. I loved the story as much as I don't like the open world aspect they put in at times. I did love the character progression, the character moments. I loved Kate's growing story as now she's the main character, feeling more organic to put her as the main character, and her tale and how she has to now live with the fact that although she has rejected her quote destiny to be the new queen, she has to kind of live with the fact that, oh, I'm the descendant of the queen of the locust species, and then she has to live with the information of what they revealed, and also live with the fact that she killed one of her two friends inadvertently because she had to choose. But we'll see when Gear 6 ever happens. It's probably gonna take a while since since isn't the developer of the game, the Coalition, working on like a whole bunch of projects like the Initiative is doing, if I'm correct. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I said, the open world aspect was the thing I didn't like. Like, I feel like there are only a certain games I feel like that can be easily converted into a open world aspect. Like Dynasty Warriors 9 tried at least, but I could imagine it being an open world aspect. Like they already had a semi open world aspect with their free play stuff in their past games, but they just didn't have it as massive as Dynasty Warriors 9 was planned to be. Halo, I could picture being an open world game. Gears 5, I feel like it never should have done the open world stuff. It should have stuck to being this linear experience and not have this open world element just to get from point A to point B. So that's just my opinion on that front. So this was Neo Reality Entertainment's Pop Culture Omniversa series. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other channels in the description below. Stay tuned for next time. And take care, everyone. Stay safe, everyone out there. Peace. And I will look forward to seeing you all again on the Wrestleverse channel. Take care.